Our Warriors fans, it's Rory and Neil here, and we're here to answer a couple of your questions today.
I'll take the first one. Okay, how in the world will you pick a starting pair of centres, or will rotation be a feature this year? I think we've got a lot of selection issues with regards to the centres. You know, some real quality in the backline across the board, and I suppose, yeah, we may have to look on a little bit of form initially, and you know, combinations may sort of look at analysis of opposition and see what centre combinations work well for those. But you know, there's a couple of guys putting their hands up already, and you know, it definitely will be a hotly contested area of our selection throughout the season.
What do you think the Worcester's strengths and weaknesses are, and how have you strengthened the weaknesses? Well, certainly in terms of our strength, you know, if you look at the lineup in our back line, I think we've got a very strong line this year. You know, we haven't played any games yet, so it's very difficult to start saying, you know, we've got areas of weaknesses. We want to have a balanced approach, so ensuring that our forwards are as tough as our back line. You know, we've done a lot of work up front. Certainly worked on our set piece quite a bit. We definitely want to get them all going this year, and obviously hoping for a balanced performance this season.
What is your ambition for the club this year and in the future? Well, look, across the board, as Rory said, we want to have a balanced view with regards to the way we want to play the game. But we're looking to try and, you know, especially at home, put teams under real pressure and give ourselves a chance of, you know, potentially getting into the top 6. You know, we know it's a tough competition. The Premiership's not an easy, you know, week on week. It's just you know, pretty attritional, and you know, especially at home, we've got to make sure we put a good marker down against Wasps in that first game, and hopefully we can back that up on the road. You know, and you know, take as many points as we can away from home. But the key is making sure that we get the points on the board at home, and that will give us a really good foundation to work off.
Nice, Doakie. Right. Compared to the previous coaching team, what difference are you going to bring to the Worcester Warriors game plan? Well, I don't think it's fair to sit here and do a comparison to the coaches for the year before, because to be quite honest, we didn't really have the opportunity to work with them. But just in terms of what we're doing, what we're looking for in terms of our performance, our focus this season is consistent performances. I think there were some great performances last season, but this year what we're looking for is a week in, week out, consistent performance in terms of what we deliver.
What is your guilty pleasure? What is your guilty pleasure? I think for me it's got to be wine gums. Midget James and wine gums. After all the games, doing analysis, I'll be sitting down eating wine gums, and I would say sweets is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine.
That's
what about you, Rory?
Safe answer.
What about you?
Next question. What's your favourite Beatles song on the 1969 album, Abbey Road? Doakie, this one's for you. This is from Luke Baldwin, by the way.
Yellow Submarine might be one of them.
There we go.
Typical Balders. In what way will your approach to coaching differ from what's gone on before? I suppose it's quite similar to, I think it's difficult for Rory and myself to answer that. You know, look, ultimately we've got our own styles, and we want to impose that within the group. And you know, as we said, and you know, throughout the season, we want to have a balanced viewpoint. You know, and make sure that, you know, across the board we're working hard on both sides of the ball, both in attack and D. And I think, you know, what we're working on at the moment is just that complement of both sides of the ball. That, you know, as we continually say, if we're good in attack, we won't have to defend too much, and when we're good in the D, we'll get the ball back to attack. You know, and it's just trying to make sure that we're all on the same page with regards to that.
Great. Right. What are the top 3 opportunities and the top 3 challenges?
I think one of the opportunities for us is that people may see us as a team that's always around the bottom of the league, you know, and hopefully this year, with a change in mindset and a slight difference in change of approach, you know, that will put teams under pressure, and that we'll get a bit of a surprise in the first 6 weeks of the season.
I think for me the one big opportunity is the fact that everybody you speak to says the same thing about the Warriors, and that's that the club has a lot of potential and the players have a lot of potential. And I think our biggest challenge this season is to be able to take those players and help them reach that true potential, so that we as a club can perform to our full potential. And getting the players to actually believe that we are as good as what we can be. I think that's the challenge this season, and I believe we're on our way to reaching that target.
Who's running the kicking practice, and who are the strongest, most accurate kickers? Because I'll take that one. I think Gordon Ross and myself will be looking after the kicking this year, and I think it's a bit like our performances. It's consistency in that goal kicking that we're trying to get. I know, looking at the stats from last year, that they're not at the level that needs to be, especially if you want to have any aspirations of getting further up the league. So it will be something that the guys will be working hard at, and hopefully over time you'll see a little bit, a better return on our stats with regards to goal kicking, and look, it has become a huge part of the game, and those top teams are all around that 75–80% plus mark, and that's what we've got to try and get to.
Who would win in a fight between Rory and Neil? And I'll give you one guess who wrote this question. Luke Baldwin?
I would say definitely you.
Listen, if it went anything past the first round, I don't think Rory would be standing anymore. One more.
Oh.
How are you finding Worcester? How are you finding Worcester? You want to start? You want me to start?
The weather has been unbelievable. We left here to go to some warm weather training in Spain. It was actually hotter in Worcester than it was in Spain. No, I've really settled in well. It's a lovely city, and there's definitely some beautiful landmarks to go around, and I've only seen a small part of it. Especially with with obviously the rugby starting and stuff. So at the weekends I frequent the head coach's house to build a few barbecues and braais and smokers, and so we've had good times at the weekends, and but no, it's a beautiful part of the world, and hopefully I can be around for a long time.
Yeah, but just from my side, I think Worcester is one of those places that doesn't take very long to fall in love with the place. We've got an absolutely beautiful place that overlooks all the fields, and there's not many places where you can be 5 minutes out of town, 5 minutes from training, and still overlook fields and the beautiful scenery we have here. The kids are in fantastic schools, the family's settled well. So far Worcester's actually been very exciting for us.
Thank you for watching. Hopefully that answers some of your questions, and we'll try and catch up with some of the supporters throughout the season.